Welcome back to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City, broadcasting from BBWCon 2015 at the fabulous Westgate Hotel, Casino, and Convention Center. And we have the one, the only, the original Wendy Williams.
Hey, how are you? It's good to see you again. It's been like, what, 2 years now?
2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't
I was
you?
actually just going to say, because you and I have communicated before, but
Yes.
I've never interviewed you.
You answered for some of my PR clients when I
Right.
had them come on.
Right.
Yeah. But we go back into BBWCon, well, BBW, wherever it was.
Whatever it was.
Well, it was
The
2 years
previous
ago.
name.
We did that and stayed in touch, and I've sent some of my PR clients over to you guys who have interviewed
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they've been
Tyra and
fabulous.
several people. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now Tyra's like,
favorite.
I know, now she's like
family
part of
now.
the family now.
Yeah.
I'm actually, like, where is Tyra?
She was here last night, but I don't know where she is now.
I didn't see her last night.
She was here all day yesterday, yeah.
She was here she
during
texted
the
me
day.
during the day, like, where are you? I'm like, I won't be there till later.
Like, I gotta work. Some of us gotta pay the bills, and we don't do it with our vagina.
Right.
Actually, she has a regular Monday through Friday job.
Yeah, I know she does. So, what have you been up to?
Well, let's see. I took almost a year off from the adult scene altogether.
What'd you do?
I managed, was the entertainment director for a nightclub in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
Loved it.
So you moved?
No,
are
I
you
didn't
from
move.
here?
I'm from Kentucky.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really.
I don't know why I thought you were out
Because
this way.
all my social media tools is based out of LA.
Okay.
Because that's my business, and it's where most of my business is done. And I don't want people tracking me down in Kentucky. So there's really, but
Okay.
I drove back and forth 2 hours every single day, and did it for 8 months and enjoyed it. It was a breath of fresh air. But I remember when I got in the business, someone said, you can get into the business, but it's extremely hard to get out of the business. And 8 months into it, I started missing it. I've always done the publicity standpoint, but then I started feeling jealousy and like maybe I wasn't finished. There were some things I could finish.
Some other things to do still?
I know. I've been very lucky. I've won every award there is. I have a toy line. I do PR for BBWCon and Shimo Strokers and Trans 500 and Kelly Locks and Wendy Summers. I don't know, but I've shot for my website for 5 straight days. My girly penis is so tired. And I don't want I'm taking today off. I'm shooting tomorrow, and then that will have completed 7 videos, 6 photo sets in 5 days.
Holy
Let's-
smokes.
I want to take
Killing.
a step back because again, I'm newer,
Okay.
and
I'll break you
I know
in.
you have a long history here, a long
We
history
do.
with the
We do.
show.
Okay.
What all avenues do you do in this industry? I know you do PR. Do you webcam? You obviously do videos. What all do you do?
Oh God.
The list of what she doesn't do is much
I know.
But
longer.
yeah,
I
let's
know,
see.
right?
For background, I was now all the girls holler that they're producers, but to me, a producer is someone that legitimately has a production company. They have their own distribution. They produce and distribute their own videos through their company, and not a big company doing it for them. So, with that being said, I am the last of a generation of ladies who did that. Myself, Gia Darlene, and Joanna Jett were the original 3. I don't distribute DVDs anymore, but I still have them online for VOD, and they're in some stores, and I have some stock that I'm trying to get rid of. I have a website, which has been around since 1999, WendyWilliamsXXX.com. Then I have the very first interracial website for African-American gentlemen and TS ladies called Interracial T-Girl Sex. Hot Wendy PR has been around now for 5 years. I have a toy line with Doc Johnson since 2010. I webcam every once in a while for if I need to do. I'm doing it now just because there's a whole new generation of fans that really don't know who I am because I've been in and out of business in the last couple of years. So I guess the only thing I've not done is I don't think I don't think there's anything I've not done. I mean, now that I think about it, why am I back in this industry? I've already done it.
Come back.
Why am I back? Thanks, SinCityBounty has just made me rethink my entire career.
You're all, I'm booking the next flight out.
I'm
What did
going
I
home
do?
and saying I'm going back to nightclubs.
Are there, but thinking about it, is there, obviously you have, a very well-established career.
Uh-huh.
Not everybody can say they have their own toy line or do even a quarter of the things that you've done.
On
Is
one
there
hand, the
anything-
ladies on one hand, and years ago, not to cut you off, years ago I would have been very coy about it, but now I embrace it and very
Right.
proud of what I've accomplished.
You should be.
Many girls will get on and boost that they were the first at this or first at that, but I really was around part of a generation. I started in porn in 2003, but I was like my first video. I really was around the era of porn stars. Now everybody is I refuse to call girls porn stars. I call them starlets because I don't think we have porn stars these days, because anybody can record a video and put it on a torrent site or a RedTube or any one of those types, or put their own clips for sale stores. That doesn't mean they're a legit star to them, but I'm talking about the era of DVD and VHS and the fact
Right.
that now everything's through the internet. So the days of porn stars, like when I came up in, it's no more. So, and now the market is saturated with starlets. I mean, when I started, in 2006, for instance, there was a group of us, and we ruled the DVD market. And now, oh my God, I think there's two of us left that in that genre, consistently work. I'm just 41 years old and still in the market. At BBWCon, I've had so many people come up to me, oh, I know who you are. It kind of makes you feel good about it. And I really love the PR standpoint of it. And I have a good track record of networking and over the years. So it just made sense to get involved and try to help independent transsexual models and fetish and other genre specialty models have someone that is financially feasible to work with, that
Right.
has some networks to help them get the things that they need.
Okay. And so you don't focus just on one niche within the market. So it's not
I like
just...
dealing with specialty niches like
Okay.
BBW, interracial, transsexual, fetish. I like dealing with that. I can't do anything for mainstream porn stars. They'll be better to go to someone that can deal with that. But as far as the big name girl, I mean, I can help any model get interviews and help them define their blogs and their webs and promote themselves as models. But if they're looking for mainstream work and stuff like that, that's not me. I'm all about self-promotion.
Specialty.
Self-promotion, yes.
Awesome. So you're an entrepreneur and a pioneer.
I in the PR part on the transsexual side, definitely a pioneer. Entrepreneur 100, because I learned a long time ago that it's a male-driven market. They are there to make money for themselves, which is what anyone should do. And I just happened to have a mentor by the name of Joanna Jett, who sat me down and said, if you want to be successful in this business, you need to brand yourself and worry about yourself. You might not be richest, because a lot of the girls jump into it and they have all this money in the first year, but
Right.
10 years down the road, what are they going to have if they've sold all their rights to their videos? They don't have their own websites. They don't own their own URLs, their blogs. They're not affiliates. They don't know how to. There's so much more now that, I'm going to give all my secrets away. You should
Right.
hire me. Hot Wendy PR, and I'll give you all my secrets.
That's it. How Wendy PR. Just
Hot Wendy PR.
do it right now.
That's awesome. So, so you're getting back into the game? Are you gonna?
My website.
Yeah, just adjust your website.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but you're not going to be filming for other people's things.
There's a few
maybe
companies maybe that that I've been asked. There's a company, Trans 500, that I really like the direction that they're going. I wouldn't mind doing some work with them. I would be honored to work with Joey Silvera again with Evil Angel, but I think I'm probably a little older and heavier than he wants now. And I agree. I mean, there's 100 other girls that are the new it girls, and I get it. It's business. I own a production company. I know the thing. But besides that, I'm kind of set on my prices, kind of set on the things I want to do and don't want to do, and I'm in a very good spot where I can turn those offers down, whereas 10 years ago I couldn't. I had to work.
Okay. So you get to with I keep touching things.
Okay.
If it's a situation and you're like, this isn't for me.
I just say I'm
Really?
currently not shooting, but only
Okay.
for my website.
Do you
to get out of it.
recommend them to someone else? You say, but I know so and so.
My clients, of course. I say, if you want someone, I've got, I represent Kelly Locks and Wendy Summers, and this is the rate that I would suggest to them. I don't tell the producers, but I go to them and say, I was offered this. You should ask for this. These are the terms you should ask for, and then I let them make the decision. I can only give my advice, and then they're up to it. If they make the right decision, great. If they make the wrong decision, then I'll be there to help try to clean it up and promote it in a positive way. But I can only give them my advice, and some girls will enjoy the advice. Some girls won't, and that's the reason why it's like a rotating door. Girls will come and go, no hard feelings. It's just business, and not everyone needs PR every single month unless you're always busy. And in the transsexual market, there's such limited work that I can't imagine, it being consistent.
Do you see it becoming more popular?
I mean, from when I started, obviously, yeah. But I don't think that Caitlyn Jenner or Janet Mock or any of the mainstream people are doing anything for porn. Transsexual porn has always been hidden in the darks of dark bedrooms and movie theaters and stuff. It's as popular.
Or on my
right,
or on my laptop.
Right. I mean, it's one of the
right now as we speak.
It's right of one of the top 3 specialty porns as long as I've been in the business. So I don't think that it's got any more popular. I just think that mainstream transsexual being more visible, but it doesn't affect the porn market.
So you don't think that maybe more of the mainstream acceptance will translate into more success within the industry? Okay.
No,
because all those people have been spanking it for years.
Yeah,
anyway.
Right, and they don't care about. I mean, they're not going to.
They're not going to see Caitlyn Jenner in the porn industry anytime soon.
And be like, and it's not going to persuade them to obviously admit that they love trans. I mean, BBWCon is a prime example. If you watch through a microscope with my booth, 3 guys will walk in. I'll make eye contact with a couple of them. They will not come over there because they don't want their friends to assume. And then as soon as they break off, all of a sudden the one that's into it will make his way over and say hello. Oh, I know who you are.
Right.
And it's the same way it is with porn. As long as they're buying it and downloading it, I don't care what they claim they are. I don't care if the mainstream visibility of transsexuals will help the transgendered community, but not necessarily the porn community.
Okay.
At least I don't think so.
That's actually really good insight. Just in my mind, I thought maybe it would, at some point, maybe even at a trickle down effect.
Maybe in small doses, but you got to
way.
understand something that's been. Just because in mainstream it's not been popular doesn't mean that in the porn industry it's proven that it has been.
Right.
The difference is mainstream it's visible, porn we're still on computers and DVDs.
Okay.
So I bet you if you took a group of 50 guys that admit that they watched transsexual porn at some point and you gave them a questionnaire, most of them would know who I was before they would ever know who a mainstream transsexual model is, not counting like Caitlyn Jenner or anything like that, because that's an oddity. But I bet they wouldn't know who Janet Mock is or Laverne Cox, but I bet they could tell you who Vanity or Gia Darling or one of those individuals are because we've been in their home longer.
Right.
Because they've jacked off to us.
I think in many cases too, there's a lot of similarities. I would say maybe a little bit with like in the BBW community, because there are a lot of gentlemen who
100. The crossover fan appeal is, I would say, 70-30. Now let's be honest. This is not going into any gender or race issues. The majority of men, I would say, are on the African American side. I'm known for my interracial porn. It only makes sense, and we've seen it at BBWCon. I would say it's been 60-40. I would think that those fans know who I am. They say, "Oh, I've seen your video," or "I saw you have with Ramon." Ramon's one of the most popular male porn stars, and he does transsexual scenes now. And most of them say to me, "Oh, I remember your scene with Ramon." Maybe they watched it just out of curiosity. It doesn't mean they're into it. It just means that they, happen to see it. I watch stuff all the time I'm not into. Curiosity had me like, "Oh, let me see what that is." It doesn't really mean I want to go do it. Maybe.
Adult sex?
Yeah. Right.
Oh, don't ever Google that. Never.
No, I've heard.
Okay.
I heard it's not
It's
a very.
awful.
The thing is when Sierra tells you it's awful.
I know.
It's awful.
Right.
Oh, take that as such.
They're doing some
I don't know
submarining
what
over
is
there.
happening.
I
call
looked
that
over to the
submarining.
right and saw a man's face and an ass, and was like, "Oh, okay." And he looked very happy.
Yeah, that's for the booth.
Well, he was loving that.
Well, our motorboat booth, we do it every year at BBW Fest, BBWCon, whatever you want to call it. And we collect money. People donate money
Yes.
to motorboat a chick. But some girls have no boobs, but they do have big asses, so we let them do what we call a submarine.
Oh wait, I can do my.
Yeah, you can do
I'm
a
not gonna
submarine.
do it.
Yeah, you just said we're going to announce it as soon as we get off the air. We're going to announce it.
But yeah, we donate all the money to the. There's a local charity called the Mammo Van, and they help
Yes.
women get
The
mammograms.
mammograms. Yeah, yeah, it's a great cause.
And we try to specifically earmark our money because one of the things the Mammo Van does, almost everyone gets mammograms for free in the Mammo Van, but the follow-up after that, if they need any further testing or anything like that, that's what we try to earmark our money for is the second step.
And that's and I think as a community, that's nice to keep doing things like that. It's like on the transsexual side. When every year we do a fundraiser for like the homeless shelters for transgendered youth, and there's a place in New York that's really well known, and we try to go from Los Angeles or San Francisco, wherever there's a high homeless rate for transgendered youth, we do that. So if they check out me on Twitter at TS Wendy Williams, I tweet about it all the time, so they can look more into it.
Yeah.
All right, I definitely love to check that out as well.
I'm
I mean,
sure.
I know that.
Let me know when you're masturbating to my porn, how you
Oh
enjoyed
no.
it.
I that I'll definitely do. I'm like, how long until I can leave and go?
Right, let's
Look
go
up
on.
some of your porn.
Wait, aren't you
But,
coming to my house after?
Oh yeah.
Right.
So
She's
you're
like,
gonna
if
get
she takes it,
sexual.
right, if she goes to the bathroom, I'll be like,
And
stop
I'm gone
masturbating.
for a while.
You got
and I'm
3
gone
minutes.
for a while. But no, actually, I know that with transgender youth, they're at such a high. I'm losing my wording right now, but they're at such a high risk.
Transgender youth have a higher risk for homelessness and suicide because of depression and educational and
their families
environmental
as
issues.
well, and
Right.
with their families as well.
Sweet
Yes.
Cheeks is here, and she has her van, and now all of a sudden she's taking the microphone.
And
She's putting it towards her mouth. She just disconnected.
I haven't been on much today, but that's because. Oh, you blown out, Wendy?
I'm just
You
joking.
are. Yeah.
No, but seriously, I haven't been on much, but I've been doing the motorboat booth. I've got lots of money for Tatatas.
I see that.
But you know what? I want to ask you a question because I'm very interested in that show. Do you know that TV show that's coming on this week? I'm Jazz.
Now
the
that
little girl?
I can support. I don't support the whole Caitlyn Jenner.
The what kind, hon?
The Caitlyn Jenner
Oh
garbage.
no,
I don't
okay,
wanna,
but no, that because I have
am-
been reading about that little girl since she was like 4.
She
keeping
transitioned
up
at a
with
very
her. Yes.
she transitioned at a very young age. She I think will be the forefront for youth transgendered issues. There's still an age gap between that, which is kind of nice, and I think that show will open the eyes. It starts with our youth now, and having someone that young that they can kind of relate to maybe will open eyes. Obviously, our youth now and our young adults are so much more open-minded than I'm 41, so I would have never in high school thought anything about trans. I don't think I even heard the word. I don't even think in science class they even talked about it. So now, like my niece is 21 and I have a niece that's 15, and they talk about all the time. Oh yeah, everybody knows who you are, and then I know you're a transsexual, and blah, 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 and they use the appropriate terms. And I'm just like, oh my god, this is so interesting.
At least for me at home, it was an article on jazz that I first introduced my daughter. She's 11. And it's not something that really had come up before. I mean,
Right.
she's very
I think if you
she's
open
very open-minded.
yeah, I think
and
if you
so we
open those
used it,
di-
and it, yeah, and
if
it
you
opened
open
the
those
door.
dialogues, then it opens the discussions. If you're an open-minded person,
Well,
now,
you got it.
obviously-
You know what? Here's what happened to me. That commercial, TLC runs the same
Yeah.
commercial forever. But she says, I'm Jazz, I'm transgender, and I'm a girl.
Yep.
And so my grandson is 7. So he looks at me, he says, Grandma, what's transgender? He's 7, okay?
Uh-huh.
So I explained to him, I said, she's actually born with boy parts, but she feels more like she's a girl. And so he looks at her and she goes, Grandma, she really looks like a girl. I said, I know, and she lives her life like a little girl, and maybe later in her life she'll have surgery that will make her all the way a little girl. I said, but right now she kind of feels like she's trapped, is what I said. Like she wants to be a girl, but she's really a boy. And he goes, oh, okay. So the next day I was telling my daughter that he had asked what transgender was, and I explained it. She goes, well, he was really all about it. We were watching TLC, and the commercial came up again, so he was quizzing her the same way his mom, maybe to see if he was getting the same answers from both places.
Right.
And he was.
And
but
you imagine those kids will probably have those discussions among other
we're
friends.
having it in our house. Everybody's having it, and I think it's great that everybody's having those discussions. And like I said, I've been following this little girl since she was about 4. Okay, and I give a lot of credit, and I just want to wrap this up. But the parents who have allowed her to do
Right.
this, that takes a lot of
And even
steps.
with these conventions, and the last thing we'll say is, even at these conventions, how important it is to have transgendered individuals visible at these events, because it's still part of the industry, and we still have those discussions and stuff. So as always, thanks so much to SinCityBounty. You guys can follow me at TS Wendy Williams. My website is wendywilliams.com, and I'll see you next year for another edition of me at BBWCon 2016.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.